Hi everyone, this is Alchemized Gaming. I'm bringing you more Modern Warfare content for 2020, and in today's video we're going to take a look at Cabin Fever, which is a game mode that's available in multiplayer, along with Shoot the Ship, which is another game mode that's currently available. But before we jump into that, I want to talk about the problems that Call of Duty has right now, especially with Modern Warfare, because to be honest, I've pretty much had it up to here with it. There was a 12 gig update on the Xbox 48 hours ago. Then once you installed this 12 gig update, which was for nothing other than some paint style and some skins and things like that, it was ridiculous. 12 gig. What are these programmers up to? Once you downloaded that, you were then faced with an 18 gig update because you had to reinstall the multiplayer and campaign mode onto your console. The game now is about 200 gig. People are having to clear their Xboxes of all their other games and just have Call of Duty on there because it would appear that the programmers for the game think it's acceptable to release a broken game and then try and keep updating it and force people to download more and more content onto their Xboxes to try and fix their problems. And that is a huge issue for me because this game was broke when it was released. It's broke now. It's taken me weeks at a time to upload a video because of all of the problems I'm having. When eventually you did install the 30 gig or whatever the hell it was update onto your Xbox, you then couldn't get into the servers, and there were thousands of people that couldn't get onto Call of Duty. So I mean, this is a message to the programmers. If any of you ever come across this video, get your act together and start making this game right at the start before the release. It's great that there's content released and that there's extra game modes and things and weapons and challenges and things for people to do. That's acceptable, but what isn't acceptable are huge updates that are offering nothing, along with continually broken servers and server queues. Guys, these games are making hundreds of millions of pounds a year for the developers. Hundreds of millions of pounds is what they're taking of people's money. Personally, I must be spending about £200 a year on Call of Duty games, not to mention the spend for all of the kind of technology and everything I need to make YouTube videos, including a MacBook. I've been buying a new monitor, new microphones. I want everything to be as good as it can possibly be whenever I'm making videos, so I'm paying as much money as it takes to buy the top end game, the top end controller, a top end headset, all this kind of stuff, all geared around Call of Duty because I don't make any videos for any other game. So really, programmers, developers, get your act together with this, man. Get these games ready for release. So, on to today's video, okay, which has been a little while in the making. It's been so long in the making, in fact. The game mode Cabin Fever that I wanted to do a video about because it's good, it's close-knit maps, is gone and it's been replaced by Shoot the Ship. But still, I've had my chance to have a little rant, so let's jump in and just have a little bit of a think about these game modes. Shoot the Ship and Cabin Fever are game modes that are focused on small maps. So they're really good for quick, fast games, and they make some fairly exciting videos. And that's been really, really good to play. And I wanted to come on and make a positive video about that and talk about it and talk about the kind of great experience of playing these close-knit maps in small areas and really kind of getting into running and gunning and gunfights and all that kind of stuff. And I've been waylaid by these updates and also by the server problems getting onto the server. But even sometimes when you were getting onto the server, it was taking 5 minutes to find a game and the ping was going to over 100 ping to find a game. So you know you're getting saddled with a game where you're going to have a lag issue, which is something I've been trying to resolve. Personally, I don't have any internet problems, although Virgin Media was down recently in the UK this week for a considerable period of time, but they've got it back up and working again. But I was getting a little bit concerned in close quarter gunfights that I was noticing on some of these maps that I was playing as part of Cabin Fever, which I'm going to come on to talk about in a little bit more of a structured way in a second. But I've been using a television, a 40-inch TV for gaming on. It was a 4K television. It was a good quality television. but I was finding I was losing out on close quarter gunfights, even though to me it looked like I was getting my sights up first or getting my shots away first. And I know that that's part of the price that I pay for using Elgato software to capture my game footage, which I then upload to YouTube. It's got a little bit of latency in there, it's got a little bit of lag, so I'm aware of that, and it just means I have to be a little bit quicker on the trigger. But I was finding it difficult to get some really good kind of footage pulled together that I wanted to use for this video. And I saw that there was a sale on for a 27-inch monitor with excellent, really reduced lag input, so really low lag. And I bought it and I installed it today, and I have to say, in the games that I've played since, I think there definitely was an issue with the television that I was using. So if you're using a television to game on, or you're using a really old kind of monitor, I would recommend looking into potentially buying a gaming monitor or just a 27-inch monitor. I've noticed it shrinking down from that 40-inch screen size down to a 27-inch screen size as well is actually more like the perfect size of a screen for gaming on, because 27-inch screens basically take up your peripheral vision. I was finding on the 40-inch television that I was having to really look left and look right, and a lot of head movement when playing the game, and it meant I was getting caught out quite a lot, shot from the side and things like that. And I've really not been finding that so much in the games that I've been playing with the monitor. I also kind of tidied up my gaming space that I've got, which is in my house. So that's interesting, guys. Read up a little bit on lag input. Some people say it doesn't matter too much, but I've really noticed from buying this monitor, it could be the adjustment to the screen size, fair enough, but I've really noticed that it's made a difference in gunfights. So yeah, Cabin Fever, what was that all about, and what is Shoot the Ship all about? Well, Shoot the Ship is fairly straightforward. It's a mix of game modes on either Shoot House or Shipment 24/7. So those are the only two maps that you play on. You're rotating through them, and you're rotating through the game modes. I think the footage in this particular game that I'm playing is Hardpoint. I had the game winning best play here in this game, and also the most time spent in the Hardpoint as well. So thought this was a suitable bit of footage to upload. And this is on Shoot House, which I do like as a map. I really practiced this map when it was first released, so I really like it. So that's what Shoot the Ship is. You also play Hardcore Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirmed, and Domination on the map as well. And I have to say, as everybody knows who watches my video, I play a lot of TDM. It's been really good to play these other game modes. It's forced me to refine my style, think about my weapon and custom classes and things like that. So let's take a little look at the custom class that I'm using right now, which I think is a really good custom class. It is the MP7, and I'm really enjoying using the MP7, and I would really recommend it because it is an absolute laser beam, and that is one of the major problems I've been having with this game, is the amount of idle sway, and your primary weapon when you're using it is sometimes all over the place, but this MP7 is an absolute laser beam. It stays on target. Using this setup, I'm using the FSS strike barrel, which is good for your damage and bullet velocity. I'm using the 1 meter red laser that can't be seen by your enemy, but it's good for marking out a target when you're shooting from the hip. I am using the Commando foregrip, which is for recoil stabilization and aiming stability, so it really zones in on that stabilization. I'm using 50 round mags so that I'm not having to continually reload. If you ever watch any of my videos, you'll see that I'm continually reloading all the time. So this saves me doing that a little bit, although I'm still guilty of it. And I'm using the perk FMJ Full Metal Jacket, which gives me a little bit more penetration and impact with bullets through cover and things like that. And this is what I'm running with, and I'm really enjoying it. So if any of you are struggling with your accuracy and feeling like it's just hard to get accurate shots away on the enemy, then I would really recommend the MP7 with this setup: the FSS strike, the laser, the Commando foregrip, the 50 round mags, and FMJ. It's a real laser, as you'll see in a lot of this gameplay here, although sometimes I'm just kind of spraying fire everywhere as well, but hey, trying to have a little bit of fun. So the Cabin Fever maps were all of the small maps, so that was Shipment, which is obviously a really good map, very, very close quarters combat there. Hackney Yard, which is a little bit larger, one of my favourite maps, and I normally get quite a lot of kill streaks on that map. Rust, which is a little bit like Shipment, a very, very small map. It's been in Modern Warfare and all the other Call of Duty from this franchise games for ages. Candor Hideout, which is a new map for Remastered. And Shoot House. So yeah, it's been absolutely fast and furious and really, really enjoyable. That's all I really got for this week, guys. The video's a little bit late. The Cabin Fever option isn't even available anymore, but Shoot the Ship is, and I would really, really recommend that. It really got me thinking about some of the other maps in Modern Warfare as well. I think some of them are just, they're kind of badly laid out. They've gone away from a lot of the 3-lane style of maps, which are good for players because players understand what they're getting into when they're playing those maps. They've created these new maps, and I quite like now the idea of the multiple kind of kill points and having to really cover lots of areas and be really kind of mindful in how you're playing, and maybe not just thunder around the map, just going down the 3 lanes, and you really have to think about it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Fair enough. What maybe isn't so cool is that there's huge areas of unused map all over a lot of these Modern Warfare maps that have been made specifically for this particular release of the game. And I think the developers need to think about that and strike a balance between the 3-lane maps, which are much, much more enjoyable and fluid, and some of these new maps. And if they're going to use these new maps in the future, then think about cutting out these kind of unused areas on the maps. Hovek Sawmill, there's a whole like graveyard and bit at the back, and nobody ever uses it. It's just sitting there. Why not condense the map a little bit, and then it could probably have been part of the Cabin Fever maps and things like that as well, and it would get more rotation and more use out of the map. So guys, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video today. Peace, take care.